I'm Dr. Brinen, and welcome back. Today we're going to focus in on a really small topic. So what we're going to focus in on is the question, how are you? Right? It's a real session stopper many times. So we're going to talk about why, we're going to talk about what to do instead, and then how to be prepared to help with that. So when we start the session with how are you, it feels normal, right? It's something we do all the time. I see a colleague in the hallway, I go, hey, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. I call my mom on the phone, I say, hey, how are you? It feels normal, it feels socially appropriate. It's this habit that we all have. Think about the last time that you walked down the hallway. How many times did you ask people, how are you? The problem with that question, while it's a really nice thing to do and it seems to show interest in other people, is that we don't really want a long answer. When I ask a colleague in the hallway, how are you? Not that I'm uncaring, but oftentimes if they launch into a long answer, that's not what I'm looking for in the moment. So when we think about the individuals we serve, right, the individual's reactions can oftentimes be surprising. We might see them shut down. We might see them have lower energy. They might give one-word answers. So you might start asking, why are they doing that when I'm just sort of showing interest, asking, how are you? The way we can figure it out is by considering what beliefs are currently activated for the individuals we serve. Many of them might be walking around with the beliefs of other people don't care, and that can lead to that asociality, right? That withdrawal from other people. No one wants to listen anyway, which might lead to experiences like alosia, right? That's the reduction in production of speech. They're just ticking off a box. They don't care, right? Which can be sort of those defeatist beliefs of why try? It's not going to work out anyway, which could lead to avolition, right? That lack of motivation. And also things like it's not worth the energy to do it, right? I don't have the energy to do it. So ultimately that too would lead to that reduction in motivation. And all of these lead to a really unhelpful start to whatever session you're trying to do. If we start the session and the individual is less motivated, that's going to mean that we're going to have to do more work to get them going. In essence, when we think about it, we're thinking about those different modes, right? We're looking at really, when we ask, how are you, we might be priming that patient mode, that mode that has a high prevalence and a high presence of that deactivation. Other symptoms might become more exacerbated as a result. And those things are elicited by the practitioner. Instead, what we want to be thinking about is activating the adaptive mode. It's that time when the symptoms really recede to the background as much as possible. We don't really notice a lot of those obstacles, and we'll see more energy brought out by the individual. And what it comes from is really by priming some of those positive beliefs. Other people care. Other people are interested in me. I have something to share. The kicker of it is that when we ask people, how are you, it wasn't what we actually wanted to ask. So when I sit with an individual, if I ask, how are you, and they start answering about all of the bad things that are going on in their life, well, I'm very interested in those things, and I want to maybe put those on an agenda, and I might want to address those. But in that moment, that's not what I was trying to look for. So the adjustment that we want to make, right, the take home from this video is really being specific. We really want to hone in and be specific on what we're asking. And in that first moment, we want to make sure that we're activating the adaptive mode. We want to ask things like, hey, what new songs have you heard recently? Hey, did you cook anything this week? How did you make it? How was it? How did it turn out? Oh, did you take a picture of it? How was the trip to the zoo? Did you guys get to see the red pandas? Were they out? Were they really active? Oh, did you see that newest episode? Oh my gosh, what did you think about it? You know, how did you react to it? Did you think it was going to end that way? Right? Really activating some of those pieces. How's the puppy doing? Right? Let me see more pictures. All of these pieces, right? These starters aim at aim the conversation, right? And really using those activating topics. So we should start seeing it when we activate that adaptive mode. We should be really focusing in on seeing increased mental energy, improved mood from the individual, activation of those positive beliefs. Like I said before, oh, this person's interested in me. There's something I can share. I am smart. inhibition of some of the unhelpful beliefs, right? So ultimately, if I think that other people are interested in me, other people want to hear what I have to say, that's going to inhibit the activation of nobody cares what I have to say anyway, I'm just stupid, others are judging me. So we can activate an incompatible set of beliefs. So the key piece of making sure that this works is making sure that you're prepared. It's really important that when you go in there, that you're prepared as you're walking in the door. This is one of those things that I learned kind of through the school of hard knocks. Because when you go out and you get ready to go to your waiting room, or if you drive up to that house, if you're sitting there and reminding yourself, don't ask how are you, don't ask how are you, don't ask how are you. When you walk up to the door, all you're going to ask is, how are you? And you're going to go, oh man, I messed it up. So instead, be prepared. Rehearse what you want to ask about. So in there going, how's the puppy? How's the puppy? How's the puppy? And when you walk up to the door and the person opens up the door, you're gonna go, hey, how's the puppy doing? So just make sure that you're prepared with 1 or 2 or 3 topics that you can start off with. So the plan that we're gonna look at is really straightforward. Start the session through activation, okay? Right, you're gonna talk about specific engaging topics, food, sports, things in their life, things that they've done. Spend time on those topics. Really focus on giving the most amount of time so that individual is truly activated. You see them have more energy, more motivation, they're talking more fluidly. And then focus on priming those positive beliefs. If you have a really good conceptualization, you know what beliefs that you're trying to target. Right? Others care about me. Other people think that what I'm saying is important. I have knowledge. And if you have a tough beginning to a session, check yourself and ask, did I start by asking, how are you? I hope this is helpful, a nice little clinical bite, and I look forward to seeing you the next time. Thanks so much. Take care.